myself down, but look at them as somebody who I can get to know, and we probably have the same things in common. You know, like a lot of us stood up for a lot of the questions that were asked, but you would have never known that if we hadn't asked those questions. You know, so you guys wouldn't know of that about each other. So it's important to challenge yourself to seeing somebody as that you think is different than you. You guys might be the same. You know. We decided that we wanted to do something for our community, and we're mothers, and we saw that the need for girls, support for girls is out there. Having that support to know about you, that you are within, is important. So we figured, let's do something that can help our youth and our community, that can look within themselves and have the positive self-esteem. So if anything negative comes towards them, they have this positive attitude about themselves, that the negative doesn't win, the positive wins. You know, so every day when you come in here, it's going to be a different topic. It's try to make it as fun as possible. So it's activities. We're going to have days that guest speakers will come in and talk about some of the topics that we're going to discuss and do activities on. We have 2 days at least that we want to do community service. It's important to do community service because it shows your community that you care about it.
Have a little fun. We're gonna have a little fun first. So I have something here for you guys. Who wants this? Cold hard cash.
Yeah.
Wow, I see a lot of hands in the air who want this.
I'm more excited than you guys are. $20 bill.
Now who wants it? Okay, same people.
Jeez.
Now who wants it? You saw that the hands didn't change, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Good one.
That money, right? No matter what I do to it, it never decreases in value, right? If I crumble it, if I step on it, whatever I do, it's still a $20 bill. There's a lot of times in our lives where things are going to happen to us, right? People are going to say mean things. Maybe like you study real hard for a test and you don't do so good, or you don't do as good as you thought you were going to do. So when things like that happen, it might not make us feel so good, right? We might feel bad about ourselves.
Kind of makes me feel like when you stop coming back.
Yeah, like if somebody's bullying you or saying a mean thing to you, doesn't it feel like they just, with every word, it's like they're stepping on you or they're poking you and poking you, right? Basically what we want you to get from that is no matter what happens, no matter what people do to you, you as a human being, you'll never lose your value. You'll always be who you are. Never, it doesn't matter what anybody says or whatever happens to you. But as long as you try your best and you do your hardest, that's all that matters. So self-esteem is the way you think and the way you feel about yourself. And knowing that you're a person of worth, that you mean something, that you're valuable, is very important to always remember that, because that means you'll always be able to achieve your goals, and it's just going to make you a happier person. Like Claudia was saying, people are always going to throw negative at you, but if you have a healthy self-esteem, you'll be able to work through that negativity.
Okay, so when you see the word self-esteem, you think self, which is the first word. It has to do with who we are. And then esteem is when all the other things come in, I guess, like the way you think, the thoughts you have about yourself, the feelings you have about yourself, and how you see yourself and all of that. So that's all that makes up self-esteem. Everybody's born with their sense of self, who they are. But when you have programs like this, or when you do things that helps you become a better person, that's all things that gives you a better self-esteem. How do you feel about your self-esteem?
Nice. She asked a question.
You have a question for us, huh?
a good answer.
Well, that's a good thing that she asked that question because sometimes, like when I was given that little presentation, your self-esteem might not be the highest, or you might not feel so good about yourself, and that's normal. We don't want you guys to think that, oh, you have to be happy and positive all the time, because we know people go through difficult moments and we go through challenging times in our lives. It's learning ways that you can work through those issues and work through those problems. So it's more focused on having a healthy self-esteem as opposed to saying high self-esteem. Just knowing how to manage how you feel about yourself and your thoughts, and helping you to work through those thoughts and feelings. So that's a good question.
And I'm sure that like my self-esteem is, the more we go into this program, I see my self-esteem going higher and better, because I remind myself that like every Friday I'm going to be reminding myself of what it is to have a better self-esteem. Because you sometimes, if you're not reminded of things, you tend to forget about it. You know what I mean? Or you don't have motivation for them to get up and exercise every day. But if you have somebody reminding you how important it is to exercise and eat healthy, you start to do it. So I'm looking forward to learning and improving my self-esteem with you guys and the great questions that you guys are going to ask like just now. So good. So self-esteem is something you build up, or self-esteem is something that will go down. It's not something that you get, right?
Well, yeah, self-esteem is what it is. It can be good, it can be bad, it can be positive, it can be negative. So it has to be something about
it's something within that you think or feel, rather than something that somebody can give you. Like I can't give you a bad self-esteem or a good self-esteem, but I can be a reason why your self-esteem is low or why your self-esteem is high.